So now, we go take Troy itself. Convinced that the Trojan walls will never fall, the heroes plan to use the Trojan horse in a final attempt to invade the city. Let's see how this goes.
Curse Troy and those who dwell within her walls. They torched our food stores and tents, even most of the ships. We'll be lucky to even escape here now.
Escape? We just broke down one of the gates! We should be pressing our attack, not talking of escape!
The Trojans aren't going to wait for that. Surely they will attack again at any moment.
Not if they think we've left. Poseidon is the lord of horses. In Atlantis, a defeated general surrenders his horse when beaten.
A horse? Yes, a great wooden horse.
I don't understand. Will it fight?
We can have this done quickly, and we don't have to rebuild any of the siege. Arkantos, I will need your help.
What's with that pronunciation of siege? Okay, what we got? So we got some... Well, it's the exact same damn thing. Except we do have some more some more troops to start with. So let's go get those goats. Well, at least we start to that upgrade, and we are in the heroic age. So first off, start with some workers. Okay, do we have a gold mine? Yep. Oops. Alright, we're either gonna need wood first. The forces I have should be sufficient, but first off I do need to pay attention to what we're gonna actually have. Alright, let's pull everyone back, defend the base, all that stuff. While we send some of these guys to explore. I know there is a... Yep. There should be a relic somewhere here. All I need are enough relics.
Run for the gates! We must warn Troy!
Do not let the scouts return to Troy, or we will be attacked. Good job. If we stop these scouts, Troy will not attack us.
Alright, so we got the head of... Wait, seriously? Well, anyway. Alright, we're gonna need those resources. Let me just save here in case you know. Send those sheep. Take all those sheep and send them here. Once the deer run out, we're gonna be using those sheep.
Do not let the scouts return to Troy, or we will be attacked.
You're not
we have
getting away.
stopped this scout, but stay sharp, men. There will be more.
Alright, get some of these guys. Do we have enough food gathering capability? Looks like we do. Alright, let's get some more wood.
Πρόσταγμα βούλομε. Θηρευτής. Έτοιμος. Τέκτον. Τέκτον. Έτοιμος.
Alright, we don't need necessarily as much gold right now.
Ναι. Βούλομε.
Alright, let me save again. I'm just waiting for the inevitable sword to drop over here from an attack from the north.
Πρόσεχε. Ορθός. Ετοίμος. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Τέκτον. Τέκτον. Ρητόμος. Πρόσεχε.
Get rid of that. Just to be on the safe side.
Λέγε. Έστω. Μάλιστα.
Another attack.
Λέγε.
Do not let the scouts return to Troy, or we will be attacked.
Εισβολή.
Good job. This scout will not bring a patrol.
Έστω. Μεταλλεύς. Πρόσταγμα.
Βούλο, μάλιστα. Βουφορβός. Έστω. Βρυτόμος. Έτοιμη.
Yep, let's get a market.
Βρυτόμος. Πάνω. Ορθός.
Πρόσεχε.
Alright, once those berries are finished,
Πρόσταγμα. Πάνω.
we'll risk it all.
Μεταλλεύς.
Έστω. Μεταλλ.
Ah, screw it. Like, let's just put everyone on fucking gold, actually, for a moment. I do want to get those upgrades, just want to have them for the rest of the mission.
Πρόσεχε. Μάλιστα.
Έστω. Βούλο.
Πρόστα. Βούλο.
Μάλιστα.
Ναι.
Ναι, μάλιστα.
Do not let the scouts return to Troy, or we will be attacked. Good job! This scout will not bring a patrol.
This is pathetically easy.
Έτοιμη. Τέκτον. Λέγε. Τέκτον. Μεταλλεύς. Προστέκτον. Μεταλλεύς.
Πρόσταγμα.
Alright, we don't need speed, but I do want to get all the armor upgrades and all that.
Πρόστα. Έστω. Πρόσεχε.
Yeah, get the Hydra regeneration rate.
Πρόσεχε. Βρυτόμος.
Βούλο.
Oh, I see.
Έστω. Βουφορβό. Ναι. Βουφορβός.
Ετοίμη.
I see you there.
Πρόστα. Βούλον. Ορθός. Πρόσεχε. Βούλομε. Έστω. Πρόστα. Βούλομε.
Some scouts.
Λέγε. Ναι. Βούλομε. Ναι.
Oh, they're
Do not let the
Hippeus.
scouts return to Troy, or we will be attacked.
I was wondering why the
Stopped a Trojan scout.
I was wondering why the hell they were so easy to take down. Cause like I know what it is to fight the original. I see why.
Πρόστα. Μάλιστα. Έστω.
Alright, let's get more wood. Well, if that's gonna be the case. Almost all upgrades are finished, just some food ones.
Μάλιστα.
So we can put everyone... Let's just say we leave 3 of them on
Πρόσεχε έστω.
Okay. Here they come.
Ναι, μάλιστα.
Do not let the scouts return to Troy, or we will be attacked.
Πρόσεχε εισβολή. Πρόσταγμα. Πάνι, βούλομαι. Πάνι. Ορθός, βούλομαι. Καλός. Εις μάχη. Λέγε. Ορθάνι. Ορθός. Πάνι. Ορθός. Πάνι. Ορθός. Βούλο. Ορθός. Πάνι. Βούλομαι. Ορθάνι. Βούλο. Πάνι. Εις μάχη. Βούλο. Ορθός. Πάνι. Βούλομαι. Καλός. Πρόσεχε. Βούλο.
Good job. This scout will not bring a patrol.
That was closer than it should have been.
Πρόσταγε έστω.
Okay then.
Λέγε ναι.
Right. I'm just trying to complete all the objectives.
Πρόσεχε, ετοίμος. Έστω. Ναι, έτοιμος.
Πρόσταγμε μεταλλεύς. Λέγε. Πρόσεχε.
Βούλο, έστω.
Oh my!
Είσαι μάλιστα. Πρόσεχε, βούλομαι.
So much for preventing the scouts, I guess.
Ναι, μεταλλεύς. Τι έστω. Προς ναι. Λέγε.
Technically, I've done it.
Έτσι, μάλιστα.
Yeah, we know how much of a bullshit statement that is right there.
Βούλ μεταλλεύς.
Τι έστω. Λέγε. Ναι. Τι μάλιστα. Βούλομαι. Ναι. Βούλο, μάλιστα. Πρόσεχε. Βούλο, έστω. Μάλιστα. Καλώς. Πρόστα, μάλιστα. Ναι. Έστω. Ναι. Λέγε. Ζωή. Έστω. Εις μάχη.
Do not let the scouts return to Troy, or we will be attacked. Good job! This scout will not bring a patrol.
Πρόστα, μάλιστα. Τέκτον.
Λέγε, πρόσταγμα. Λέγε, μάλιστα, βούλομαι.
Alright then.
Πρόστα, ναι. Τι μάλιστα.
Έτοιμος.
Λέγε, έστω. Πρόστα, ναι. Λέγε, πρόσεχε, έστω. Ετοίμος, βούλομαι.
Build it faster.
Προς τα έστω. Τέκτον.
Λέγει, βούλομαι. Μα έστω, μάλιστα. Έστω, βούλομαι. Έστω, ναι.
Do not let the scouts return to Troy, or we will be attacked.
We have stopped a Trojan scout.
Λέγε.
Πρόσταγμα ορθός.
Έτοιμος, ναι. Θρητόμος.
Έτοιμη, μάλιστα. Έστω.
Move the horse into position, quickly!
Agamemnon, take the boats and men and sail just out of sight. Our Kontos, Ajax, and I will man the horse. When night falls, sail back. We'll have the gate open for you.
I am glad you schemed for me, Odysseus. I will return at nightfall.
That's got to be the weakest performance from Agamemnon's voice actor so far. I mean, he's mostly fine, but it's just like...
If we destroy the gate, our troops can rush in.
Okay, game. Something is going on. Hello, game. Why are you doing this to me? There we go. That was bizarre. I have no idea what the hell was going on there. Not sure, looking
Wait
nice.
here for the guards to pass. We would do best to avoid fighting them now.
That's what the coward would say. And unfortunately, we are with the kings of cowards. Okay. Odysseus is a... You know how we have this fantasy of Odysseus being the good guy? Yeah, but that he's not. He's a big, gigantic asshole. Like, the only good guy, I think, is like Hector, kinda. It's like, oh, but you wanted to treat Patroclus' body badly. It's like, yeah.
A hero has fallen.
Well, considering the shit that Patroclus and Achilles had done, can't say I blame him. Paris? No, Paris is...
A colossus. We should try to sneak past.
What is with you and sneaking past? Like, seriously. You know, we do have god powers for a reason. I know, waste of a good ability. Does Odysseus have any ability, by the way? Yeah, he does. He didn't have an original.
A hero has fallen. A hero has fallen.
Like, let's add a bunch of myth units against overpowered heroes. Why do you think I got all those upgrades?
We could make good use of those.
We could, and we will. There's gonna be a Myrmidon somewhere. Or a guard.
Why are those Helipolays out of storage? They are controlled by the enemy! Stop them!
Why is the gate of Troy half HP? Well, I guess they didn't want you to. Well, I guess they're trying to reflect the fact that...
Agamemnon has returned with his army. Quickly, rush through the gate and take down Troy's fortresses.
No lightning storm, no
The
bull.
gods have graced us with 2 meteors!
I was kind of wondering if they would give us upgrades there. Ah, the Trojans actually counterattack this time. I might have to use those meteors. I like the fact that they actually make this part somewhat challenging. I say somewhat because there's no chance that those Colossi are losing that battle. So as opposed to some bullshit lightning storm that the original game had. Here they actually send enemy units. Burn Troy to the ground. You may not know this, but the final fight for Troy was actually quite brutal. In the Aeneid, it's like oof, brutal nighttime street fighting. Friendly fire, that kind of stuff. You gotta understand, Troy did have multiple levels, so it was... Priam's Palace was, not easily taken. Anyway. Right. Let's just drop another meteor. Ooh, that is quite a few things, actually. Come on, give me one more. Oof. We're gonna have a fight on... What? Well... That is a lot of Hydras. I actually like that they made the early part of the mission, which no one gave a fuck about, more like easier. Oh, you can still fuck it up. And the actual fall of Troy, far more interesting gameplay-wise. I mean, sure, I obviously would have won the mission by now if that last meteor. Still, this was interesting. Wait, what does this do? Okay. Why is this...
Troy has fallen. Let's find Helen and get her back home.
Okay.
Where to now, Arkantos?
Back to Atlantis. This was a welcome break from chasing pirates, but I need to return home.
Well, pirates or not, you need to get your boats repaired.
You don't think they can make it to Atlantis?
No.
There's a port not far from here, Yoklos.
I'm sailing there. I can show you the way and get someone to work on your ships.
I swear that smirk will haunt my dreams.
And he strides among the treetops, and is taller than the trees, and his voice through all the garden is thunder sent to bring. What is it, Kemsit?
Kamos has returned, sir. He lost the trident. He says the Atlantean was headed for Troy. The battle there will not last much longer once he joins the Greeks.
The siege at Troy is already over.
Zeus could still interfere.
Do you question me, Kemsit?
No, everything is exactly as you said it would be. The fortress, the tunnel, Troy.
Giants and the genii, multiplex of wing and eye, whose strong obedience broke the sky. Send Kamos. I want to speak with him.
Yes, General.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I can forgive from developers, but ruining Gargarensis' poems... And you know what the worst part is? He can actually... Like, I've played the DLC. Like, the final portion of that Freyr DLC is significantly better. I'll just show that intro, just so you guys know what I'm talking about. Or maybe show the ending of that. I mean, I can always use cheats, right? So... Let me just show you a difference so you have some context of how the exact same voice actor can do significantly.
As his plans in
So, Frail of Victory is going to be the cheat.
Our resources are few, but Freyr watches over us. Our researchers take...
Look! The giants are fleeing into the hills! Not even they can oppose mighty Freyr!
A glorious victory indeed. Where is their one-eyed leader?
Where the grey seas glitter, and the sharp tides shift, and the sea folk labor, and the red sails lift. Your resistance is daring, but futile, Valkyrie. The Old One will destroy all in the end.
If your Old One is so deadly, he can come here himself. I grow tired of dealing with his pawn.
You meddle with powers you cannot possibly imagine. I will return, and when I do, you will wish you had stood aside.
Yeah. Also, Reganleaf herself actually sounds significantly better in this mission than it does. So here's my theory on this subject. I think that originally Microsoft was going to use the original voice acting, but then they figured out, well, people like story missions, so let's make DLC for that. They've certainly done so with Age of Empires 2. So we're gonna hire a bunch of voice actors for that. But then they realized, well, we kind of want the voices to match, right? So they got those same voice actors, as well as hired a bunch more to voice, and they probably have missions with Ajax, Amon-Ra, Arcantos, etc., right? Planned. Like, the hunt for Pyrrhus, Terrace, is something that I'm sure a lot of us would, finally like to see. But here's the thing. They probably hired those same voice actors to do a bunch more voice acting, but they didn't give them the time, the budget, the pay, so they didn't give a shit. Like, for the dialogue voice there, you can see that there was direction, that the actors cared about it. Might do a separate video on this subject, but there is no way you're selling me the idea that the same voice actor, like Gargarensis, delivers a line in such a horrible fucking manner in one mission, and then does a pretty good job there. Like, if that was the voice acting that we had in all missions, I would not be complaining on this, but it's not. Costin signing out.